Hello, guys. Today I wanted to share how I view my world, and I view the world uh, in a way that, in a very observatory perspective. So, why do I want to share this in the first place? So, the reason I wanted to share this in the first place is I didn't have this worldview from the beginning, but after having so, it kind of changed me, and I found peace. So nowadays, I rarely get angry, and every day is just a day going by, and I do my best. I really do have. I'm really peaceful and happy by having this worldview. So let me share it. And the basic premises is that I'm gonna die. So I'm gonna die, and the only thing I could actually do is observe the world and share what I've felt. Does that make sense? So first of all, the biggest thing is that I'm gonna die. That's like 100% certain. I'm gonna die, and the only thing I can do while I'm alive is do things out there and share the experience I had with other people. Cause so let me explain. So first of all, I thought I'm gonna die, and at first it felt really like sort of miserable. Like, does it have any meaning? Like, it's the same thing, you guys. Whatever. Like, does it have any meaning if you're gonna die anyway? Blah 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 blah. But I read some Buddhism, and it said you're gonna die. Nothing has meaning, and because of that, everything's good, right? So what does that mean? It means that because you're gonna die anyways, whether something happens or not happens, whether something you think that is bad happens or not, it essentially has no meaning. And by not having any meaning, it's good anyways, because it doesn't have any meaning. And it took me like a week to understand it. That was like 2 years ago. But now I do. And my English is not that good to actually express what I really think. And that's the best I can do. So I'm sorry about that. Number two is sharing experiences and ideas, and in the end, dying in peace. So I thought of this like people say, this guy's bad, this guy's good, this is bad. But the more I think, um, I just constantly end up to the conclusion that you don't know, right? It's like a so like when I was young, I thought like let me give like a really simple example. Like if lions kill a deer, is that bad? Well, it seems bad, but that's how it is, right? And then I thought, well, if a person kills a person, is that bad? But like if you really think like in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, my English is so bad I can't express what I think. So there's a really good monk that I like, and he said if you want to be wise, you gotta see things in a you gotta see things in a wider time and in a wider space. So, and I do really agree with that. So, for instance, if you feel really sick today, is that bad? Well, in the short term, it is, right? But the only way you're gonna feel healthy is if you actually felt bad, right? So it's not really that bad in the long run. Or, um, well, if yes, so there's things like that. So some people say something is bad, but I found that if I look at it long enough and wide enough, it's not really that bad. So that was the first thing that happened to me. And then a couple months went by. Then I realized I read Cosmos, like the book talking about the universe. Then I've realized that in the grand scheme of the universe, like it says it on the book, it says the Earth is just a pale blue dot, right? So if you see it wide enough in time and wide enough in space, and when I say wide enough, I mean by spatial time, it doesn't matter at all. Well, I'm not saying this in like a, well, it doesn't matter, so who cares? And I'm saying this in a, extremely positive way. Does that make sense? And it also got me thinking, well, if everything does not really have meaning, what's the best I can do, right? And I found out that the best I can do is go out there, look in the world, and share what I've thought about or what I've experienced. That's the whole purpose of this YouTube video. So if you listen carefully to me or listen long enough to me, I never say, and I do this in real life too, I never say something's good or bad. So I'll never judge, like a person or a incident, right? So my whole mindset is, it is what it is. So I look at the world and I see, it's like that. So I think, an extreme realist. I'm not pessimistic. I'm just saying that I'm just sharing what I've seen and what I've witnessed without any judgments. Because who am I to judge? Like, literally, who am I to judge? Like, you don't know what's right. Like the people who were in Nazi back in the days thought they were right. Were they? Well, we think they're not, but am I a better person to judge? Like if they thought that was good and I think that's bad, who am I to say that I was wrong, that I'm right? You know? Yeah, that's all I wanted to share. So that's literally all. I do believe that everything's gonna die, everyone's gonna die, and it doesn't really matter in like the grand scheme of universe, right? And the second thing is, it's quite impossible for me to judge anything. So I never judge, because it's 100% sure that I'm wrong. Like literally, I'm wrong. And if I judge, if I say something's good, like, how do you know something's good? Like, this is good. Being smart is good. But if you think about it, if smarter guys tend to suffer more. So is that really good? So well, does that mean suffering is bad? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, well, if you ask enough questions to a person, it becomes very vague about what really he thinks is right and wrong. Because I listen to people and there's a lot of contradiction they make, but I don't really correct them, because, like, why do I not contradict them? Why do I not correct them? Because, yeah, well, I don't know why, but it's just that there's no truth. Whatever I believe that is truth, just sounds. So it's hard for me to identify a objective truth. So, like, for instance, like, this is the most basic one. Well, is this mic real? You know? Well, is this book a square? Well, a butterfly won't see this as a square. He's probably going to see it as a sphere. What makes you think that your view of the world is more correct to say that this is a square? You know? And by extensions, is this black? Well, maybe some people say, well, like maybe some person has viewed a black thing orange for their whole entire life, and they have been calling orange as black their entire life. So when they see this, they see orange, but they just call it black because in his mind, orange is black, right? Well, how do you know he's wrong? You might be wrong, you know? And what makes you think you're right? I'm not saying what makes me think I'm right, you know? So I don't judge anything. Like, to be like, I don't judge because it's you don't even know, like, I don't even know whether what I see is legit or not. So there's absolutely no reason for me to, like, I can't, it's impossible for me to judge saying that I'm right and the other is wrong. I hate my English. Yeah, that's all I wanted to share. I think this was a bit messy. It's all right. You know? It's all right. And we'll be fine. We'll be fine. And thank you guys for watching. This whole raw video-ness of mine. And hope you guys really enjoyed. Like, think about that. If you enjoyed, is that good? Because by not enjoying, you might get angry. And by getting angry, you might get energized. And by being energized, you might go out and do something. Well, is doing something good? Well, I think so. But who knows? Yeah, so thanks you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.